The top story is Ethiopia launches long-term low-emission development strategy. And the Senegalese opposition leader reiterates calls for protests over threats to candidacy. Greetings, dear viewers. This is ETV News with the news. I'm Shifarao Lako. Thank you for joining us. Now, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed welcomed at his office the special envoy of the President of the Republic of South Sudan yesterday. Writing on his social media platform, PM Abiy said he was pleased to receive at his office the special envoy of the President of the Republic of South Sudan. In another development, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed points out that the Halala Kella, an attraction site in Dauro zone, is an ideal place to take a breath and open one's mind to many activities. He said Dauro is one of the tranquil places with peaceful environment. Lose no time to visit such a spectacular site, he underscored. Halala Kella is the most relaxing attraction site that has been developed under the Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's Dine for Nation initiative. Abiy encouraged visitors to come to Halala Kella to take a rest, contemplate and write, seeing things from new perspectives. Someone who stands at the highest place of the resort can have a panoramic view of the verdant landscape of the area, which is endowed with nature's endless beauty. Deputy Prime Minister Mecca McConnell says climate change negatively affects the livelihood of the people. This came here yesterday at the official launching of Ethiopia's long-term low-emission development strategy. Shagamato gets you more. Welcome back. We apologize for the technical glitch, and let me remind you of the top story, the lead again. Deputy Prime Minister Dammaqaa Mokonnin said climate change negatively affects the livelihood of the people, and this came here yesterday at the official launching of Ethiopia's long-term low-emission development strategy. Shagai Matau tells you more.
Ethiopia's long-term low-emission development strategy has been developed in tune with the Paris Agreement on climate change adopted in 2015, which encouraged countries to provide a long-term low-emission development strategy, a roadmap for long-term decarbonization to limit the global temperature increase to 1.5 degrees Celsius temperature. Accordingly, the country's revised and most ambitious national determined contributions to the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change aims at an emission reduction target of 68.8% by 2030. In his opening remarks, Deputy Prime Minister Dammaqaa Mokonnin said climate change negatively affects the livelihood of the people.
Unless we introduce a strategy to fight climate change crisis, there's no way we can achieve sustainable development in Ethiopia. Hence, the government has prioritized the issue of climate change crisis and has been aggressively working on it like the Green Legacy project.
The Deputy Prime Minister pledged that the government will press ahead with efforts underway to expand green diplomacy. These efforts, Dammaqaa pointed out, will be replicated in neighboring countries as well as at the continent level.
Ethiopia ባለፉት ዓመታት የአየር ንብረት ለውጥ ፖሊሲዎች
Cognizant of the negative consequences of climate change crisis, Ethiopia devised a climate adaptation and resilience policy, of which the Green Legacy Initiative, water, sewerage and sanitation program, and energy development are among others. And the Green Legacy Initiative, Ethiopia has shown remarkable progress over the past 4 years that could be an exemplary to the rest of the world.
In her address, Planning and Development Minister Fitsum Assefa underscored that Ethiopia has been implementing a climate-resilient green economy strategy, adding that over 200 climate change mitigation projects have been undertaken in the country.
Collecting over $82 billion from local and foreign partners, Ethiopia has implemented more than 200 climate change rehabilitation and mitigation projects. We've also managed to reduce 104 million tons of carbon dioxide emissions.
The long-term low-emission development strategy needs the concerted efforts of stakeholders for its implementation, as Tex pointed out.
Now, the Minister of Finance, Ahmed Shide, said that efforts are being made to sustain the encouraging results recorded in the agricultural sector through financial support. The Finance Minister and other senior government officials from the Agriculture Institute also visited the National Agriculture and Science Fair at the Science Museum. On the occasion, Ahmed said that by supporting the agriculture sector financially, efforts are being made to sustain the encouraging results that are currently being recorded, stating that the agriculture sector has been given a lot of attention to ensure the development of the country. The minister indicated various projects have been designed and are being implemented.
ከ400 እስከ 600 ዝሆን የሚታይበት የዝሆኖች ቁጥር በብሔራዊ ፓርክ ውስጥ ከ6000 በላይ እንደሆነ ነው የሚያሳየው። ግን ከ1980ዎቹ ጀምሮ አውራሪስም እዚህ በድርጋ ተራራ አካባቢ ላይ የነበሩ አውራሪሶች ሸሽተው ወደ ኬንያና ደቡብ ሱዳን እንደሄዱ እና ከዛ ጊዜ ጀምሮ
አሁን ከኢትዮጵያ ብሔራዊ ፓርክ አፍሪካ ብሔራዊ ፓርኮች የተሻለ ነው ያለው። ምክንያቱም ደነስ ስለሚንከባከብ ደነስ ስለሚታይ ሁሉም ነገር ቁጥሩ በእግር ሳይሆን እንኳን እስከ በአውሮፕላን ቆጠራ ድረስ አለው።
Welcome back. You're still watching Addis News Hour. Now, Eastern and Southern African countries have formed a network to prevent and control tuberculosis. The network is said to help prevent cross-border communicable and other infections. Goshumal so takes it from here.
At least 1.6 million people die worldwide due to tuberculosis. Ethiopia is exerting efforts to prevent and control the disease. TB still remains a challenge in Africa as well as the globe, despite various mechanisms devised to arrest its spread. East and South African countries have established network to prevent and control tuberculosis disease. Speaking on the occasion, Director General of the Armor Hansen Research Institute, Afor Kasu, said the network is vital to prevent and arrest cross-boundary communicable disease, in addition to sharing mutual experience.
Having networks like this is very important for us because we can learn from experiences of some part of the world, experiences with proven solutions can be tapped and brought to countries and support country-specific tuberculosis control programs, conditions including tuberculosis, brother for leprosy, other infectious diseases challenging Africa and the world, malaria, neglected tropical diseases, bacterial and viral diseases, non-communicable diseases, and etc.
Stressing the need to work together with neighboring countries, Minister of Health said Ethiopia has now been delisted from the list of countries with high medical-resistant TB.
MDR TB, some country including Ethiopia, like 10 years back, we were panic, and we were talking about different strategies, including how to transport sample or patient, or how to treat patient, and how to chase patient by police when they are escaping from the hospitals. Now the burden, my country, Ethiopia, now just we are off the list of high MDR TB burden countries. And we are treating that in the community through ambulatory model of care. So why we achieve all this? Because of collaborative effort, because of the network.
Seeing that the network is instrumental in fighting the disease collectively, the World Health Organization will continue supporting it.
And we, TDR, we will help support them to try to evaluate some innovative solution to mitigate the impact of this type of challenge. We are just trying to initiate the initiative, but we have plenty of partners from the region, WHO regional office, colleagues from the country, but also partners, the union, Damien Foundation. So it's a work that we are doing together. The Global Fund is very important in this initiative as well.
The network has plans to work together to prevent other infectious diseases, ETB learned.
Now, the Ethiopian embassy in Pakistan was officially inaugurated in the presence of ambassadors and diplomatic community based in Islamabad. Miskan Warga, State Minister for Foreign Affairs, and Hina Rabbani Kar, Pakistani Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, cut the inauguration ribbon of the embassy. In his remarks, Misganu said the opening of the Ethiopian embassy in Islamabad marks a new history in the diplomatic, political, economic and social cooperation between the two countries. He also noted that the embassy has achieved remarkable progress in a short period in advancing bilateral cooperation in a number of fields. His Pakistani counterpart mentioned that Ethiopia and Pakistan have common economic and development challenges that demand the cooperation of the two countries to address the problems. The opening of Ethiopian embassy in Islamabad will have a vital role in enhancing Pakistani relations with Africa, it was disclosed. The Agricultural Transformation Institute says it has been applying various pilot innovative technologies to identify systematic challenges in the agriculture sector. This was disclosed here at the opening of a two-day discussion on the study findings by various scholars on farmers' productivity. Kasaun Chane reports.
Agriculture is the backbone of Ethiopia's economy and livelihoods of the most vulnerable populations. Increased growth is essential to realize the interconnected goals of food security, poverty reduction, and human and economic development. The Agriculture Transformation Institute, ATI, was established to serve as a catalyst for transformational and sustainable change. ATI is a strategy and delivery-oriented government institute created to help accelerate growth and transformation of Ethiopia's agriculture sector. The institute has been actively working to promote the transformation of the agriculture sector by addressing systematic bottlenecks in executing a top priority national agenda for achieving growth and food security.
At this time, Ministry of Agriculture is reforming or updating the previous agriculture and rural development policy. On this, not only the private sector, even the other important stakeholders are invited to criticize or to add their issues and concerns on the policy document. Even in the other legal issue, for example, for the seed proclamation, starting from the reviewing the previous document, the private sectors are invited. Not only the private sector, the associations who are working toward the benefit of the private sector are also invited on this preparation. They are just incorporating their concerns, their issues on the document. Even in the validation workshop, we are inviting them to participate and to develop the document.
The discussions have hammered out the necessity of testing modern technology in order to identify system bottlenecks and the agriculture sector to see Ethiopia transformed.
If we look at agriculture in its across the value chain, we see from research, production to all out to the market, there are a number of challenges that really affect the transformation of agricultural activities. For example, if you see only for on the production side, to what extent our farmers are productive to increase their production and also their income. So when we analyze, when we see the production side of agriculture, we see, for example, input is a critical component of production. So what do you mean by input? For example, if you say soil is a critical input of agriculture. To what extent our soil is fertile?
So the aim of this workshop is especially, as its mandate is to pilot innovative technologies, as its mandate is to conduct and identify systemic bottlenecks. Those systemic bottlenecks and model projects piloted so far should be disseminated to the end users, should be scaled up, should be sustainable. So this forum is helping us to introduce what ATI has been working during the last decades so that the best technologies can be practiced or scaled up in other areas. The other thing is, if we know the weakness and the strengths of what we have done during the last couple of years, we can design another innovative approach to improve the weaknesses, and we can use the best practices to scale up further in areas where we didn't just reach so far.
Discussants also point out the need to exert maximum efforts to extend mechanization clusters in a nation so as to help farmers and pastoralists improve their standard of living.